Hey guys, how you doing? Um, I have this stock. I always call it Google. Then I know that the name is called Alphabet, but I always just call it Google. And then Google's maximum, the highest stock price is about 150 US dollar, right? And then it dropped it to the lowest about 78 something, and then it bounced back to 100 or 105, more or less, something like that, right? And then now, because then the Google AI, we call it the chatbot, right? Bar, right? The name is called Bar, BARD. Get the wrong answer. There's an AI chatbot, right? And then just because she got the wrong answer in the debut, is it, right? I don't think so, right? A lot of people saying in the internet is like that, but I don't think so. I think it's just maybe if you say this event is 100%, I think that is only 30%. 70% is because the performance of Google in last year is not good. I think is the main reason, right? And then because I think that no one knows, right? It's like we go back to 20 years before. 20 years before. And then the most famous at the time we call it is a browser. You remember that? We call it a browser, right? Do you still remember? At the time is American Online and then Netscape. I need to buy the what do you call a disk, right? And then you get the file from the disk, and then you will get the browser. At the time is Google, and then American Online, and then Netscape, and then we all remember is Yahoo, right? And then later on they've been taken by Verizon. So and at the time we don't know that at the end of the day at the time the number one is Yahoo, not Google, right? And then after that, after a few years, then Google have the search engine become a search engine, right? Then it becomes number one, and then Yahoo is drop, something like that, right? So it's too early to say that then the Google's chatbot is a fail. I think it's too early, right? You can say that at this time, right? And then ChatGPT is just an AI software. And then the people said that Microsoft is the winner. But if you look at the share price performance, that is not the thing, right? So I agree to some of the comments on the internet said this the people is overrimmed, then but some of people is underrimmed, right? We don't know that. So we'll take a look on the Alphabet's performance, but we will examine it in detail in our Hong Kong program, right? So our Falcon portfolio been to 49%, just 1% lower because of the Alphabet's share price dropped it, right? So if any of you have any questions then you want to ask, then you can drop your message under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me by usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. And then this is our cover, right? Alphabet shares dive because Google AI triple bar flops the answer in the ad, right? I think it's not that simple, right? Or I think that then some of the people then they think too much, right? They just think too much. I think it's the performance of Google in 2022 that really matter. So yesterday, Dow Jones still dropped more than 200 points, right? It's still fluctuating because the Fed still not ends. It still not ends the putting up the interest rate. So we still have to be patient. I think it's upper of this year, right? I think upper this year, then it will end, right? So we'll see. And then is the Nasdaq dropped 120 points because of Google, right? Because of Microsoft, everyone. And this is our Falcon 350,000 portfolio. Then we dropped it 1% more. So we become 49% after 44 months. And this is US 10-year Treasury yield, right? We can see that compared to last Friday, and then now is 3.669, and then 1 week before is 3.527, increased 1.1%. So we go through some headlines first. So you can see in the screen that this U.S. Senator Lisa is shouting in the hearing of the in Washington over the Chinese spy balloon response. Then she is very angry. Then if you watch the hearing, then she is very angry. Right? She is from the Democratic. She is very angry, and then she is shouting. Then what she shout, right? Then what they shout at is because then that Chinese spy balloon was first discovered in January 28, and then it took Biden more than a week before he can decide to shoot it down. So what takes so long? Right, more than a week, more than 1 week, and during that week, that balloon may be across a lot of the area over US already, right? So she is shouting, and you can see that she is from Democratic, right? And the official said the balloon first entered the US airspace. Then pay attention, is the US airspace, all right? It's the airspace station of Alaska on January 28, where it was immediately detected by the NORAD, the Joint U.S. Canadian Air Defense System, immediately. That means once it entered into that region, the balloon was immediately being discovered. Then why take so long, more than a week, right? Why take you so long? Just shoot it down, right? Because it's threatening the U.S. safety, right? So take a look. Then, if you have time, then watch the hearing on the internet. It's not very long, but just about 20 minutes, right? Then you will see this woman Lisa is shouting, right? So another strategy is the Turkey and Syria's earthquake. Then now the total number of dead people is more than 20,000. I have to repeat that actually Turkey is not poor. Syria, I don't know, but Turkey is not poor. Turkey is a big manufacturing area for apparel and for the other things. So I think that it's just because this earthquake happened so suddenly, right? Then you can see that it's quite serious. A lot of land been crafted, right? A lot of building, pang, right, tumble down, right? It just tumble down in Istanbul. So actually, is they cannot, because it's too many injury, right? So not only in Turkey, even this has happened in anywhere in the world, then will be shortage of labor or rescue in 1 or 2 days. But actually, they should rescue them within 12 hours. That is called the golden hour. But no way, because then suddenly there is short of, right, the firemen, the for the healthcare, for the ambulance, and for the materials. So I hope they're all right, right? I hope they're all right, right? And then I hope that a lot of casualties and a lot of injured children, a lot of them, right? 20,000 people is not a small number, right? So we just pray to them. We just pray for them, right? And then there's a good news for Singapore people. Then they will further ease the mask rule. That means very quick. Then they will okay, no need to wear the mask outside. Right, that is a good news, right? No need to wear the mask outside. Then Hong Kong still have this mask rule, right? So I don't know when then it will be taken off in Hong Kong, right? So it may take some time. And then we just mentioned about Yahoo, and then Yahoo, and then I cannot imagine then Disney will cut off 7,000 people. That means they hire 7,000 people more than they need, right? How can this happen? 7,000 employees is not a small number. And then you can see that Yahoo is to lay off 20% of staff by this year, end of this year, beginning of this week. And then this week, then she will eliminate 1,000 positions just by this week. So it's more than 10,000 employees, I think. All right. So you cannot imagine that a company hire 10,000 people more. All right. How can it be? All right. That means without that 10,000 employees, that staff, the company still can maintain more than 80% of the profit. Then why do you hire these 10,000 employees? Why do you hire these 10,000 staffs? All right. So this is a poor management. Just bear me said, this is a very poor management. You will never hear that in Warren Buffett. Right? He will not hire one staff that is not 100% necessary. Right? So this is just crazy to me. Right? So we talk about Google, and then this is the news from Bloomberg yesterday. Alphabet, the shares fall sharply after the Google's AI chatbot debut stumbles. Right. So what happened? What happened? Right. And then the people think that definitely your bar chatbot failed. Right. It's not accurate. It gives the wrong answer, and then you will be out for the tech stock. Then no one will use Google, and then they will use Microsoft because Microsoft been integrated that AI, I forget the name, right, into the Bing or Edge, right, and then you will lose to ChatGPT. Is it what it is, right? Google is for what? Google is for what? Google is for Gmail, right? Google is for Gmail. Google is for the search engine, right? Google is for the YouTube, right? Something like that, right? Then just because of the chatbot, and then they will have the search engine to replace Google, and then the people just think that the advertiser will move the advertisement from Google to the ChatGPT or to Microsoft, which I don't think so. You think that because the function is not exactly the same. The function is not exactly the same. Search engine, Gmail, and YouTube is not exactly the same. Of course, then if Alphabet also doing it good, then it's good, right? But even she is not doing so good, then is it that important? We don't know. Maybe very important, but we don't know, right? But the market, it seems overreacted. But I think that the overreaction is because of the poor performance of 2022, not because of this chatbot bar, right? So we can see that the lowest point of the stock price for Google, I always call it Google, is about 78 something. And then it bounced back, and then it drops again. It bounced it up to 105, then dropped it to 95. That means she dropped at 9.5%. Right? Then you can see that the recent high is 105, and then it dropped it to 95. That means it totally, because of this chatbot event, it dropped at 9.5%. Just say simple, dropped at 10% on the stock price. So Google slumps early 8%, and then yesterday another 4%, right? And then a analyst said Microsoft winning AI-linked PR battle. Is it what it is, right? So, and then why did Alphabet stock slip today? And then they bring ball mistake underwhelming the AI event. I don't know. Underwhelming means then no emotion, not feeling interested, right? So, but I think the stock price is overwhelmed, is too emotional, right? We take a look on the Microsoft stock price, right? Not a big jump. It's just a normal. It's just in the same shape, right? In the same shape of Google. No big move, right? So who's the winner? So we take a look on the 2022 Google's performance. Then I will explain it in detail in Hong Kong program. You can see that in last year, still have the Google survey revenue, 253.5 billion US dollar. And then the Google Cloud, still okay, the increment, right? Increased from 19 to 26. And then the Google surface just increased a few percent. So I got a tick and then one dash, right? So the total revenue increased from 257 billion to 282 billion US dollar, increased by 9.7%. That means people still using Google services, and then they're paying the same, right? Nearly the same, right? But you can see I put a cross on that is the income from the operation, right? It dropped it already. See that it dropped it. 1 year before, 78 billion US dollar, now 74 only. So what happened? What did happen is the cross, right? No matter is it cost of revenue or the operating cost, expense, then they raised it too much. See that the cost of revenue increased by 14% and the operating expenses increased by 20%. So of course, the net income dropped by 21%. It's still a earning, right? 2021, the earning is 76 billion US dollar, and then now is only 59 US dollar, dropped by 21%, right? And the diluted EPS dropped only 19%, but still dropping, right? That is the reason why it dropped it. At least 70% because of that, right? So I will not comment too much on the Chapel bar event, right? Because it just first debut, right? It's just the first debut, then it may improve, right? It may improve, then we don't know. But this is what we have to watch closely on that. So you can see that for the 2021, the cost of revenue as a percentage of revenue is 43%, and then last year is 45%, right? Then don't just not care about that 2%, not much, right? That's much because now Google, Apple, or Microsoft is not as like Hermes, right? Hermes have a gross profit margin of more than 70%, but they are not, right? So the increase of the 2% may eat up the profit, right? So actually then it becomes it's not a loss, but earn less than 1 year before, right? So Google has to put up the price, right? Like the advertisement cost, right? That means she may have to put up the cost for putting the advertisement on Google, right? That's one thing that she will need to do, and then other Google service, something like that, right? Then that's not easy because you know that in 2022, then Google lost the market of Russia and UK, right? That is two very big region, right? And then some Asia countries been not fully recovered during 2022. Then we're looking forward for 2023, right? So we will keep and close eye on Alphabet, right? Then to see how it goes, right? But don't be too panicked on this because now we do not have enough evidence that this chat GPT will grow hot as 20 years before, like Google, right? Like Google, like the search engine, like the Yahoo. We don't know that. Maybe it's just for a few months, right? We don't know that. We will keep and close eye on that, right? Okay, thanks for watching, and then please give us a like, comment, or share to your friends. Then please help to click the subscribe button and then press the bell icon next to it. So whenever there is a new video uploaded, then you will be get notified by YouTube. Okay, hope everyone have a very peaceful weekend. See you next week. Bye bye.